On my 75th birthday, I received a letter I wasn't supposed to open. It came in a plain white envelope, no return address, just my name, Margaret. The handwriting was unmistakable. It was my daughter Lily's. At first, I thought it was a birthday card, maybe a sweet note. But when I picked it up, I noticed the envelope had already been opened and resealed with a bit of tape. Something in my chest tightened. Lily and I hadn't been close for years. After her father died, she said I became too much, too sad, too controlling, too lonely. She moved to another city, got married, and built a life I only saw in pictures. She called once every few weeks, quick conversations filled with polite distance. I had been living alone in the same little house for 20 years, the one with the pale yellow shutters and rose bush he'd planted before he died. Every creak in the floor, every photo on the wall whispered his name. Some nights I'd fall asleep in his armchair, holding one of his old flannel shirts. So when I saw Lily's handwriting, I thought maybe, just maybe, she missed me. I made myself a cup of tea, sat by the kitchen window, and opened the envelope carefully. Inside was a folded piece of paper, faintly crinkled. I began to read. I stopped reading. My hands trembled. For a moment, I thought it must be a mistake. A draft she meant to throw away, not send. But then I read the next lines. I didn't even realize. I was crying until a tear splashed onto the paper, smearing the ink. I folded the letter, placed it back into the envelope, and stared out the window for a long time. The tea had gone cold. The street outside was quiet, only the sound of wind moving through the trees and the faint laughter of kids playing down the block. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about every call I'd made, every story I'd told her about the past, the way her father used to hum while making breakfast, how we danced in the kitchen when she was a baby. Maybe all those memories I shared had become heavy for her, not healing. The next morning, I decided to take a bus to her city. I hadn't seen her in nearly 2 years. I didn't tell her I was. When I arrived at her house, I stood across the street for a long time before I knocked. The house was beautiful, white shutters, lavender growing along the path. I could hear laughter inside. When she opened the door, her smile faltered for just a second before she forced it back. "Mom, you didn't tell me you were coming. I wanted to surprise you," I said softly. Her husband, Daniel, appeared behind her, holding their baby, my granddaughter, Emma. She looked just like Lily did at that age. My heart swelled and ached all at once. Lily invited me in, but I could feel the tension hanging in the air. I noticed the letter on a side table, the same envelope I'd received, only there was another. One addressed to Mom, unsent. She must have written more. During dinner, we talked about little things, the weather, Emma's first words, Daniel's new job. But I could feel the distance between us, like a wall made of everything we hadn't said. When Emma started crying, Lily took her upstairs. I sat in the quiet kitchen, staring at the birthday cake she'd bought for me. Chocolate, with pink frosting that read, "Happy birthday, Mom." That's when I realized the letter wasn't meant to hurt me. It was her cry for space, for freedom. I had been clinging too tightly, trying to fill the emptiness her father left behind with her presence. When she came back, I stood up and took her hands. "Lily," I whispered, "I got your letter." Her eyes widened. You opened it." "I did, and I understand. You don't need to apologize. I just want you to live your life, to be happy." "I'll be okay." She looked at me for a long time, her lip trembling. Then she broke down, hugging me tightly. "I didn't mean to send it, Mum. I was just writing to clear my head. I love you. I just get overwhelmed sometimes." Stroked her hair like I used to when she was little. "I know, sweetheart. We both need to learn to let go a little, don't we?" We sat like that for a long while, crying and laughing between tears. That night, she let me stay in the guest room. I watched her tuck Emma into bed, humming the same lullaby I used to sing. The sound filled the house, soft and familiar, and for the first time in years, I didn't feel alone. When I woke up the next morning, the sun was streaming through the curtains. On the bedside table sat a fresh letter, this time sealed